your name now? Duke?
Well,
Bruce?
That's a nickname. My right name is Maurice. Maurice Prest.
Prest.
Prest. P-R-E-S-T.
P-R-E-S-T, okay. And you were born right around here, right?
Yes, I was, yeah.
Yeah, and you knew Jamesons and you knew
Jamesons. My mother was a Jameson.
Yeah. Well, I guess you knew the Jamesons then, yeah.
Well, I know, yes. Yes, her brothers, but I didn't know the old man. I just knew my grandmother.
Oh, yeah. Why did he die?
But he died in the 1800s, I guess.
Oh.
Just, I don't know exactly.
You need a pencil?
No.
$1,800. Was he born here too, or did he migrate from some other area?
From Kentucky, yes.
Kentucky. That's right. Dawn was telling me she goes back to Kentucky. Yeah.
That is my grandfather. But just a minute, I got something here that woman gave me the other day.
I'm in no rush. Don't worry.
I got a lot of junk here. I got to throw it away, I guess.
You never know when you need it.
Well, I just look at it sometimes. Let's see.
My wife's always after me. I pile the stuff up on the table next to me, you know. And there's things I should do, and they're in the bottom of the pile. Yeah.
Not that.
Your grandfather came from Kentucky. Where'd your mother come from?
Well, she was born. She was either born here. I don't know if she was born here or born in Kamloops. I can't really get to that.
Okay.
Let's see.
Have you ever gone back to visit in Kentucky to see where they were from?
Not me, no.
Dawn has. Dawn Johnson said she went back down there to see it.
Yes, I know that she was gone. Well, that's a funny thing. I had that. I guess it must be over.
You played pinochle or something? I see a whole list of scores there.
Oh no, I'd say that 649.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
That darn thing must have been over here somewhere.
Oh. Your son, what was his name?
My son Maurice.
Oh, you named him after you.
Yes.
Yeah.
We adopted him.
This fellow that's here once in a while, is that your grandson?
Maurice?
The young man that's here?
No, there's Stan White.
Yeah, Stan? Oh, he's a friend, I guess, huh?
Yeah, just a friend, yeah.
I see, yeah.
Yeah, there it is there. That's it there. He died in 1891. That was my granddad.
Oh boy, he lived a nice long life.
Well, when he was born. When was he born?
1828. 1828, yeah. James Joseph Jameson, born 1828, died June 18, 1891. About 65, maybe.
He died at 65. From 1928, 1828.
Yeah, close to that. So he was in his 60s. He was in his 60s, yeah.
He must have been older than that. I don't think that is true.
That's what it says.
See, the reason she lives down there, this woman that brought this here, she lives down there on the old Jemison, the part of the Jemison place. And the graveyard is out there, so she come here to come in to take, to, what do they call it, care.
Community care? Community service?
Yeah, she come in here and She was asking me about that graveyard. Of course, I don't know.
Uh-huh.
See,
That's where Nappies live, right?
what's that, Nappy?
Nappy, no?
Yeah,
Nappy?
she lives there, yes.
Eleanor Nappy?
I guess it is. I don't know her first name.
She smokes cigars?
Yes.
Yeah,
She
okay,
comes
that's
in
the
here
one.
and works. She came in here to take as a care, or what do you call it, home care.
Home care, right, yeah.
Yes.
You know that Lake Duke, that Jameson Lake, is that named after you guys? Jameson Lake over there on the Willis Ranch, you know, down in the canyon on the end?
I don't know.
Flows down to Wolf Lake?
I don't know what it was.
Oh.
I
Anyway, it's
couldn't
called
tell you that. I
Jameson.
know it's there, but I couldn't tell you what it's named after. Jemison this year's. See, that don't seem right to me that he died. He came here born in 1880. You have to take that off of 90. Well, how old is that? Like 18?
Here, let me figure it out. I got a pencil.
28?
I've got a pencil. I'll figure it out.
From 91? That'd be
Okay,
7?
1828. And then what's the other date?
Be 77 years old. In 1891.
Yeah, 77, huh? Right.
So, it doesn't seem right. Of course, I don't know. Of course, I wasn't.
Did you ever meet him?
No.
You weren't even born then, right?
I was only born in 1907.
Ah, yeah. So you
He's
wouldn't have.
dead.
Yeah, he was gone by then.
See, my mother was born in 1879.
Hmm.
1879. Yeah, I guess that could have been right, but he was a pretty old man
When he had her.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I could hardly believe.
He was a surprise. She was a surprise.
Yes. I can't hardly believe that, but you don't know what happened,
Yeah.
Things.
Oh, sure. Well, it's possible for the man to have children at 80, Women can't have them after about 45 or 50, usually. But it's not unusual for a man who's 70 or 75 to have a child. Yeah.
Yes, well, that's how old he was. She was 79.
Hmm.
Well, I have her birth certificate too, but I can't just remember what it was.
Yeah.
So she died at 67.
1967?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Did you have brothers and sisters?
I had four brothers and one sister.
Oh, yeah.
I guess there was another sister, another girl born, but she died. She was pretty young.
Oh.
I don't remember her. There was birth. I had Theo, George, Ed, and Lionel.
Uh-huh.
And myself, and we 5 boys and one girl, but she had another daughter that died, but she was pretty young.
Uh-huh.
See, in those days, they didn't have any care, like.
Right.
Like
no doctors available.
Out here, yeah, they were mostly, what do you call it?
Home care.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. Well, they had midwives. Midwives.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of, midwives.
Yeah. Actually, you know what, Duke? In those days, that was healthier, because the hospitals were giving the women diseases that were having. The babies in the hospital were getting, and the women were getting sick from the hospitals. They didn't know that what was causing it. It was a peripheral fever, they called it, or it was childbirth fever. The women would pick up this bacteria in the hospital, so they're actually better off having their children at home.
If you If you can handle it, yes.
Yeah, but if it was if the baby was upside down the wrong direction or something, breech born or whatever that is. Yeah. So did you grow up on this farm here then, right over on the river here? No?
No, my grandmother was still alive when I was born, and she died. Well, I just can't remember when she died, but when she died, her oldest son took the place over. See,
Oh.
he took it over, and they had no wills made out then.
Uh-huh.
See, when the old man died, there was I guess they didn't have any wills. I guess they did, but they didn't need it, I guess then.
Uh-huh.
So my mother's brother, he was the oldest one, he took it over. I think he was the oldest, I'm not sure of that.
Uh-huh.
But then after they got going, the other kids never had no share of the place at all.
Yeah, there might have been hard feelings.
Yes, that's what it was. So my mother, she started a lawsuit. She got a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
See, and they had a lawsuit. Took 3 or 4 years or something like that for them to monkey around and keep charging you. Every time you went and looked sideways at them, he charged them for it. See. And
I'll tell you, I've been in on something like that. Yeah.
So anyway, in 1921, I guess it was. The lawyer went out for my mother because the rest of the family, the other members of the family didn't care about it. See, so the lawyer made it out to her. So we moved on there just for about a year and a half or so.
Uh-huh.
And the damages to the lawyer was so high my mother couldn't pay it. So he took it over. See, but she stole it. She stole it from her. You see.
Yeah.
A good man, a lawyer. So I think it's only $5,000. Christ, in them days, if you had $5,000, he was a millionaire.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
See.
I used to get a hold of those old National Geographic magazines, and they'd show the prices of cars.
Yes.
You could buy a Model T or a Model A car for under $500.
Yes.
And those are fancy. That'd be a good model with everything on it,
Yeah, I seen it, yes. Those Model Ts, yeah.
Did you ever drive one?
I did, yes. A party owned it. Another party owned it, and I drove it for little ways.
Yeah.
They had one of their handbrakes on it. And some other kind of a gear shift lever or something on there. There's a funny thing. And you had to have some haywire too in case it shut apart.
I know you could fix, if there's a fence handy, you could fix your car, right? You just have to get the fence wire off.
Yeah. Yes. See, that was old timer Ford. They're still, I believe, they're the best car today, the Ford.
Are you sure? They didn't let you down too often, did they? They kept going.
No, you could, I don't know, they used to you have to have a crank on the front end to start it. They didn't have no starter gear on it. You cranked her up the end, the front end.
People told me you had to watch out if they backfired because the crank.
Yes, it'd break your hand. Yes,
crank come the other way.
You had to keep your face out of the road too when you were cranking.
Oh, yeah. I'll bet that could be murder if it slapped you in the side of the head, huh?
And they had to take the crank out too once they started.
Oh, really?
Well, everything had turned, yes.
Oh, this would be going around like a propeller in the front.
Yeah. Well, it wouldn't start. It did. Once it started, you could take it out. It didn't.
Yeah.
But you had to be careful when it was starting.
Did you ever have to pump one of those tires up by hand too?
Oh,
those
yes.
old high pressure tires, weren't they?
Yes, seemed like it, yes. And the pumps probably weren't all too good either.
I read about a guy that went across a set of railroad tracks. He blew 2 tires, and he only had 1 spare. Yeah. Oh, somebody's here. Oh, next door. Oh.
They come here at 10 o'clock.
Oh, they come here?
Yeah,
to your place?
that's the next door.
Oh, I see.
But the girl comes in here to clean.
Well, when she comes, I'll go, of course.
She comes at 10 o'clock, yes.
Yeah, I'll go. Did you ever do any hunting, Duke?
Oh, I did, yes. Up in the north, I hunted, well, when I lived out there, I hunted deer, of course.
Yeah.
Till I shot, I got feeling sorry for those deer, so I wouldn't hunt anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
They used to come around when we had cows out there where I lived out there on the Merritt Highway.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to have salt blocks out there, not far from the house, right close along where we used to keep. So we had milk cows, see.
Mm-hmm.
So the cows used to come and lick the salt in a big salt block.
Mm-hmm.
So when the deer come through there, they started licking that too. The deer lick that salt.
Mm-hmm.
And they claim it's against the law for the deer to leave salt out around their house where the deer will come and lick it because they figure you can shoot them. But they used to come there. The deer used to come there after we got rid of the cows because the salt block was still there, but we had it in a little box, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, all the salt would eventually leak into the soil.
Yeah, and then the deer would lick the soil up.
Yes, they used to come there. And my kid used to sit outside sometimes and talk to them deer.
Really?
Yes. And one time I went out there and the deer was licking the salt block, which is a little small book.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned to run away and I said, "Don't run away." I said, "Stay there. I'm not going to hurt you." I was talking to him like that, you know. Yeah. And he turned around, he come back and started licking the salt again.
Oh, no. Almost like he understood.
Seemed like it, yes. Yeah. Right alongside of our house about maybe 10 or 15 feet, there was a big tree growing there, what they call that, it had some blackberries on it. It was a hawthorn tree.
Oh.
And the deer used to lick the block and they'd come between the house and there, and my kid used to sit there. I did too. And they'd come along, well, it wouldn't be any, about as big as this kitchen.
Yeah.
From where I was sitting, they'd walk through there and stop and eat the leaves off of that hawthorn and then go on. More than one deer, you know, they'd come along and stop and eat.
Yeah.
And then there was other little willow bush there too. They used to eat the leaves off of that. But you'd wonder, they get quite, well, I don't mean they get tame, but they get used to you and they'll come right up. They'll come right up. They said when they worked on the Hope Princeton Highway, when they were building that highway through there, see, they had lots of deer out there, you see, and the deer used to come there, and the guys would throw their potato peelings and stuff like that out there. And the deer used to come right up to them, right, they used to come right up, and they could almost put it in their mouth, you know. Yeah. So that's how gentle they are.
They get trusty.
I had one do that to me one time. I couldn't believe it. But they come right up. I couldn't reach out and touch her, you know, petted her, you know. And she turned and walked away, didn't run, just like that.
Because then it's hard to shoot an animal like that.
So I got so I wouldn't shoot one either. I quit shooting them altogether. I wouldn't shoot one. Even if I was hungry, I don't think I would.
Shoot a grouse instead, huh? Eat a grouse instead of a deer or something like that.
Yes, well, there's nothing to shoot at now, much, no grouse.
Well, I gotta tell you something, Duke. I was hearing grouse all over the place this weekend.
Whereabouts?
Moving away, you know how they go. Thum, 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 thum.
They were little grouse.
Yeah, when they're booming, you know, when they're sitting on the rocks or on the log, and
they make the blue grouse don't do that. Just the willow grouse.
Yeah, these are willow grouse, I heard.
Yeah, they're little small.
Yeah. Did you know Nora Fripp?
Fripp?
Yeah. Did you know the Fripps at all? No?
They're from Tulalane. I know the name, but I didn't know them.
She used to tell me stories about grouse. She called them boomers or hooters. She called them hooters. Have you ever heard them called hooters?
That's the willow. That's the blue grouse.
The blue grouse. Yeah, the males she called hooters.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, I've seen some big ones too. I mean, I've seen grouse up in Deer Mountain, about Tulameen there, up by Blakeburn. I've seen blue grouse up there that were every bit as big as any rooster I've ever seen.
Yeah, I guess they would if they grow big if they're left alone. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They have some other kind of a grouse. What the hell they call them?
A fool hen?
Oh, the fool hens, yeah, but not them.
There's the willow and the blue grouse. A fool hen or spruce grouse.
Yeah, there's another grouse.
Franklin?
They have them down or near Oliver or somewhere.
Sharptail?
God, I can't think of the name of them, but I did know it. They're big.
Sage grouse? Sage hen? Sage?
I couldn't tell you the name of them.
Oh.
I know I seen them because I said to my wife, I said, look at them, they're so big. I did know the name of them, but I forgot. They walk quite a bit.
Instead of flying.
Yeah, well, they're so big you can't.
Oh yeah.
They can't fly. I guess they can fly a certain amount, but then they gotta hit the ground again.
I was in Montana one time driving along. They call them sage hens.
Yeah.
Oh, gee, that was a big bird.
Maybe that was them. I don't recall that name though. It was
Prairie chicken?
No, not them. No.
You know them.
Yes.
They were more up north around the Peace River country. Prairie chicken.
Well, I guess there's lots of birds around the country that the fellow never seen. I never seen them. I seen the
Might be coming home.
somebody making a noise.
Yeah.
Next door, talking.
You want to make sure if it's still running. Do you want to hear some of this?
But I guess so. I don't
Sure,
care
just to
much.
hear.
She's going to be here pretty soon anyway.
Okay, I'll come back another time. So here, I'll just set it in the basket here.
And I can't hear the damn anyway, so.
Well, you're doing okay. I like to hunt, but like you, I'm getting back to the point where I used to do a lot of trapping, Duke. You know,
Did you?
fur trapping. That got to me, seeing the way those poor animals suffered in the trap. You know,
Yeah.
So I quit. I quit that when I was about 18 or 19. I started to study animals. Did you ever do any trapping? You must have. Everybody had to make money somehow, right?
I used to trap a little bit, but I caught a few beaver and a few mink and stuff like that because they were bothering me out there, you see. But my brother was a trapper and I went out with him a few times on a trap line and see them animals sitting there. They used to have these jaw traps then, and it didn't kill them, you see. It just caught them and they stayed there and suffer, you know. So
until you come along and hit them over the head. Yeah.
yes, and I didn't like that kind of business. I hate to kill anything anyway, so.
Yeah.
So I quit that business too, and I caught a few birds now and again, and then there are jaw traps there, you know, but they got them other kind of traps now. When they hit you, you're dead right now.
Yeah. Humane. They call it humane traps.
Humane, yes, that's right.
And another name is a conibear. Conibear. Yeah.
But I don't know. You could get a bear. I've seen a bear in a trap too. They used to have them big jaw traps for them.
Boy. Those were fierce.
Yeah, no good. They were good just for catching them, but you had to shoot them after.
Yeah.
The bear never bothered me. I had bears around my place out there. They used to come right in the yard.
Where was that place, dude? Where did you live? Up on the Merritt Road, you said?
Yes.
Whereabouts?
10 miles.
10 miles.
In
that canyon?
A house down alongside the creek.
Down in the canyon?
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
there's a little trailer there.
Yeah, Don Johnson and her husband, Barry. They've owned that for quite a while.
The lower part.
Yeah.
Yeah, they bought it, yes.
Yeah.
They
sold it to that RCMP officer.
Yes.
Ray. Ray, yeah.
And he sold it.
Yeah, he's gone now too.
He was looking for marijuana.
Was he?
Yes, when I left out there, I left out there and let my son have that, live there, and some other kids, a bunch of boys.
Yeah.
And I guess they were smoking marijuana, and they had them kids. There's some of them here. There's one or two in town.
Oh yeah.
And the others went up to the 100 Mile house up there somewhere. and Armstrong.
Okay, we'll talk about something else. Okay.
See, they used to have this guy used to come there. They had a fellow living out in that trailer.
Yeah.
And he said that they were sitting there one day, and all of a sudden, this police came up there. He came up through the draw, you know.
Oh, in the bush, yeah.
Yeah, this was a story he told me.
Yeah.
And he was telling me, he said he came there, and he said that the house, the trailer like that, lots of times the people come there and break into a trailer. So he'd come up the back way, see. He told this guy that. He lived in there then. He was just like a campground for him in the summertime. So I know when he was there looking there because I seen him out in the back there a couple of times.
Snooping around, huh?
Snooping around looking for marijuana because them kids used to be there. See, they had it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they had it. I know they had it because but Amos his parents used to have a store or something here in town.
Oh.
Amos, yeah, they ran a grocery store here in town for a few years, and he shot himself in his.
Oh.
Blew himself off. But my son was there when he done. He went out in the back porch, and I had a 30-30, and I had one shell left in a 30-30, and I never thought about that, you know, because my son was there. And he took it up the back porch, and I know he was looking at me, he pulled the trigger, shot his jaw off here. But he got over it eventually. But
I bet he had a hard time chewing.
yeah,
chewing meat.
But my son right away. He phoned the police right now.
Yeah.
And the police came up. He had to report it.
Yeah,
my son was pretty good at that kind of stuff, you know. He phoned the police right now and told them what happened. And the police came out, they took my rifle and took it. And they took him in there. They saved him. He didn't die, I guess. I seen him about 5 or 6 years after. I don't know how long it was, but I had to go over to Kelowna to a wedding.
Oh, yeah.
And he was invited there.
Oh, so you saw him again?
My son was the best man for the guy that was getting married there. See, him and Porky was another guy was there. They were dressed in these tuxedos.
Yeah. They look like penguins.
Jesus Christ, the kids would look nice.
When they were dressed up?
Yeah, dressed up. Oh, they were dressed up, nice tie and all and everything.
Yeah.
I had a picture of them somewhere. This Porky too. Geez, they were nice looking kids, both of them.
Yeah.
So anyway, all these fellas was all smoking that stuff. You see, a lot of kids. Where my son was there, he had lots of other kids staying there with him. See, one of them lives here in town, and his wife he got married. His wife is a nurse up here in the hospital. They got about 2 or 3 kids now. Oh, yeah. But he quit all that stuff. See.
Well, yeah, they're wild when they're young. They're wild when they're young, but they settle down on
my son is like that now too. He's got a nice wife and everything, and they got a nice home. And all
settle down, yeah. Hey, did you ever catch any of those brook trout in that creek there that runs through that draw?
Eastern Brooks?
Yeah, Eastern Brook. Those are beautiful.
Yeah, long, big ones, yeah.
Did you get some of the big ones?
Yeah, I seen those fish in there, they looked like little dogs laying on the bottom of the creek.
Really?
That was years ago. There's rainbow trout in there too. But I see those trout in there, just like a stick, like a dead stick in the water.
Yeah.
They lay there in the bottom. They don't come up very high. They're all gone now. Christ, they fished them out. There were some.
There's still some little ones.
Yes.
Little ones still in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were some people came from the coast. They came up here. They were from, what were they? Not Spain.
Europe somewhere?
Down in the south. They lived in Vancouver. We worked in the Blue Horizon in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
Well, his family up there, and they came down to see. He used to have a worm sign up there for my son.
I know who you mean. Oh, yeah, they had a little house there. They sold worms.
That's
Van Horns.
Who?
Van Horns? Van Horn?
That was down below.
Yeah, a 2-story house there right on the creek where they sold worms.
Yes, that was right down, that's the old bear place.
Yeah, okay.
But the place I had was just where I live now, see? Out there. It's a little house down below the creek. There's a trailer up there on that bench.
I know what you mean, yeah, I know what you mean. They sold worms there too?
My son, yes.
Oh.
So these people used to come there. The people, they came from down in the south, but he had a job there in the Blue Horizon in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And they came there and they stopped and they bought some worms.
Yeah.
So they asked if they could go fishing.
Uh-huh.
So there was about a half a dozen of them there, and they used to, out in front of my house, they just left their stuff there and they'd go out fishing, way down the creek. And if they caught a fish that big, they kept them.
Oh.
You know how they used to handle that? They never gutted their fish. They used to take them by the head and strip them like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's all?
All the stuff would come out there.
Yeah.
Strip them like that, and they'd fry them whole. But they used to freeze them too. When they used to catch geez, they caught fish. They caught some big fish.
Yeah.
They had a rig. They used to throw their hook in there. They had a little on their line. They had a little thing like that just the back from their hook.
Yeah.
And they had a little rock and a little weight on there, and they drop it in the water. And it would hold the line right there. But this worm would be floating.
Right. Very enticing.
So they just sit there. When the fish come and took the worm, they could see it. See, and they caught the little ones, and big ones, and wasn't long until there was nothing left in there.
Oh.
Of course, we used to fish too, but I got so I didn't care about fish anymore. You had so many fish, you got tired of them. So.
Aren't they beautiful? Those brook trout, aren't they pretty fish?
Yeah, they are. Yes. Oh, yeah. They got little spots on them. They call them eastern brooks.
Yeah.
But you used to have the rainbow trout in there too. They used to come up the creek from the river, of course.
From the Smilkmead, Coolmead?
Yeah, the creek comes out down there by East Princeton.
Right. Okay.
Goes into the river right across from the.
Yeah.
No, it's farther down.
Yeah, it's farther from the trailer park. Yeah. Well, that's what I grew up fishing for, Duke, was brook trout. We used to call them speckled trout.
Yes.
Because of those colored specks on there, you know, the reds and the yellows and the
Yes, these here, they call them eastern brooks. There was a doctor here in Princeton here, Dr. What the hell is his name?
McCaffrey?
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
McCaffrey. He had a cabin out there.
Yeah.
Up above my place, right alongside the creek. It's against the law to build a house that close to the creek.
Yeah, no.
But he had he built himself a little place for the fish to, what do they call them?
Spawn?
Spawners.
Yeah.
And then he built those eastern brooks in there.
Yeah.
And that's where, I don't know if that's where they got started, but the creek was full of those eastern brooks, because he had a little spawning, he had built a little place in there for them to spawn in the sand, you know, or the gravel.
I know there's a pool there. There still is. That pool is still there.
Yes.
Yeah. And he made a little bench, a little sort of a yard that came out from it. And beautiful little spot. Yes. Right down among the trees in it.
Right alongside the creek.
Yeah.
McCaffrey was his name.
On the other end of the lake, he built a little palisade, a little weir. He was trying to keep those squawfish and some of those other fish out, you know, the suckers. He was quite a guy.
Yes. Yes, he left Princeton. So I was in the Army. When I was in the Army, I was in the BC Electric. I went down into the bathroom, or somewhere I can't just remember, and I was in the bathroom, and Dr. McCaffrey come in there to go to the bathroom to piddle, you know.
Yeah.
And I was in there, and I looked at him, and I said to him, I said, "You're Dr. McCaffrey, aren't you?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yes." He was old.
Come on in. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
We're just sitting here reminiscing about the old days. I'm John Sandus.
Oh, I'm Betty Morgan.
Betty, yeah.
Yeah.
That's Duke.
Yeah, I'm his homemaker. I know him.
I know, I'm gonna move this.
He's my member of parliament.
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna come back another time.